Every single day, social media convinces us that we need something. A book, a skincare product, a gadget, a cozy little item that promises to fix our life. So for one full week, I decided I wasn't going to buy anything. Instead, I was going to track how many times social media made me want to spend money. So I put it all into a spreadsheet. The product, the cost, what platform was triggering it, and what I found out was actually kind of surprising. This isn't about shaming influencers. It's not about judging spending habits. It's about realizing just how often are you being influenced without even realizing it. I am guilty of impulse buying. I'll spend $10 there, another $20 there, and it adds up really quick. I wasn't even calling it impulse buying because at the time, it felt necessary. But I am making a conscious effort to shift my algorithm from consumerism to creative inspiration. And in order to do that, I need to track what am I consuming on these platforms. So what are the rules? Let's go over the rules for this whole little experiment. Rule number 1. I am not allowed to buy anything that is not essential. If it's not gas, groceries, or a bill, it is not being purchased this week. Number 2, every time I want to buy something, I need to enter it in the spreadsheet. I need to enter the product, I need to enter the price, and where did I get this idea to buy it? And number 3, I really needed to break it down. Which social media platforms do I use the most and am I most concerned about? That was TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube for me. And lastly, I needed to keep scrolling. This was so important because I can't be censoring my scrolling if I want accurate representation from these platforms. Now, I'm going to dive into my spreadsheet. Don't judge me, okay? Okay, first up on the chopping block is an expensive one. This is the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I got this idea from Pinterest, and they were totaling at $369. Oof, that's a rough start. On that same day, we have the Revlon lipstick in the shade Blushed, because the shade matters, because I have a lot of lip products on here, and they're all on here because they're in a different shade. This one was influenced by Pinterest, but it's only $7.97. This is a prime example of something I would have bought without thinking twice. Next up, the Splice app. This is actually free. I don't know if there's in-ad purchases. I didn't get any farther than that, but I got influenced through TikTok for this one. The La Roche-Posay Urea Cream. Why is this different than the others? I don't know, but I wanted it, and it was from TikTok, $36.95. This one was from Pinterest, a puka shell necklace. It wasn't a specific one, I just wanted it for my trip to Mexico. I thought it looked cute. I managed to find a cheap one for $2.80. This is another example of something I would have bought without thinking twice. And the last one for that day was the Huda Beauty lip stains. That one was from TikTok for $34. I notice I get more makeup influencing from TikTok rather than Pinterest. Like Pinterest will be like a lip color here and there, but a lot of the more expensive Sephora products will come from TikTok. On day 2, we have the NARS concealer, starting off strong with more makeup from TikTok. $44 for one of these. The Rare Beauty highlighter, TikTok again, more makeup for $23. This one, don't judge me, okay? Sand buckets to put drinks in. It's not summer, but I wanted them. I got the idea from TikTok, and $29.99 I found these on Amazon. This next one was a restock. CeraVe Retinol Cream. This one would have been $22.22, and that is the first restock or non-social media influence that I've had this week so far. So I made it to day 2 without one. Day 3, Cobb's bread. Friends. You could easily spend $15 Canadian there. Cobb's, even just talking about it, I want to go already. I need to stop talking about that. Next. This one was from YouTube. A weed torch. I believe it was an ad in between like a video, and it just torches the weeds between your cement and pavement. Do I really need this? No. I had to talk to my husband, and he talked me down from buying it because I was this close to buying it. And that one is $35.99. Day 4, only one thing, nail glue. This was a restock. This was $22.71. Day number 5, quilting squares. These are technically creative, but I was influenced through TikTok, so they're on the list, $19.55. Cute slippers, Pinterest. I have slippers. Apparently they didn't fit the criteria for cute slippers. $69.97. Snoopy pajamas, also Pinterest. This one is $54.95. I get very clothing specific items from Pinterest, I've noticed. A little bit of makeup, but mostly makeup on TikTok. Day number 6. This one, there's only one, and it's from Friends. It's a stone bath mat. I found one on Amazon for $33.99. Day number 7. This one was a big day. First off, I was talking to coworkers, and now I want a Dairy Queen Blizzard. I still want one today, but I haven't got one. $5.89 for that. Next up, the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip. This one's from TikTok. This one is $34. Next up is another lip product. The NYX, oh my god, this is a mouthful. NYX Slim Lip Pencil in Peekaboo. That is a mouthful. That is from Pinterest at $6.99. The Upright Govee Wave Lamp. This is from TikTok at $2.47. This is supposed to take place of your Christmas tree the rest of the year, because if you miss the look of your Christmas tree in the months that aren't December, this is supposed to help take its place. But I'm not convincing myself to buy it, so we're moving on. An ice machine. This was from TikTok. I would like to say I have an ice machine in my fridge, built into my fridge, and I was still considering buying a separate one. When I looked online, they were $119.99. Again, there's already an ice machine in my fridge. I don't know why I was considering this. Another one is Magnesium by Glycate. This is from friends. They're telling me to get my health in order, apparently telling me to take this supplement, and it was $22.73. Next up, TikTok, the Fenty Shimmer Sticks. This one is $35.50. And lastly, this one was from Pinterest. We have the KitchenAid ice cream attachment. This one is $79.99. There's a couple pricier items on here which really rack up the total. But if I want to tally everything up, Pinterest had 7, TikTok had 11, YouTube had 1, Friends and Restock had 6, and Instagram had 0. If you want to look at the number tally, like the cost total for each one, we have Pinterest coming in at $591.67. TikTok is at $623.98. YouTube is at $35.99, and Friends in Restock is $122.54. There is a big difference from influenced items without social media, influenced items with social media. Social media is definitely wreaking havoc on my bank account, on my pocket. I need to fix this. Now, if we're going to look at the data, over the course of 7 days, there was 25 times that I wanted to buy something. 0 of those were from Instagram, only 1 from YouTube. We had 6 from recommendations from friends or restocks, 7 from Pinterest, and 11 from TikTok. Now, from data of 2025, TikTok does not have the most users. That goes to Facebook. However, the average scroll time for TikTok users is over 55 minutes a day. Now, generally, influencer ads tend to have a higher conversion rate than traditional ads. And 49% of consumers will admit that they made a purchase based on an influencer ad just this month alone. And TikTok does have the highest conversion rate for sales, so this isn't exactly surprising. However, I actually did find some of this data surprising because for me, Pinterest came in number 2. As far as I knew, Pinterest was being used for creative inspiration. Seeing all the pretty pictures when you scroll, I wasn't realizing that was influencing me to buy things. I thought that was giving me creative influence. So is the data really that surprising? To me, it was. I knew about TikTok. My FYP is full of ads. It was Pinterest that surprised me, because I thought I was using that for creative inspiration. Apparently, Pinterest is the second highest platform making me buy things. Pinterest really surprised me, and so now I need to be way more aware of the pins that I'm making. Now you might notice Instagram does not show up in this spreadsheet. You might be wondering why. Couple factors. 1, I don't scroll Instagram as often as I do the others. I would have loved to record some screen time for these, but unfortunately I didn't. If I were to do this experiment again, that would definitely be a change that I would make. But also, the accounts that I follow on Instagram are different. They are way more creative or funny or personal accounts, like people not trying to sell me things, just update that their dog got a new toy. Stuff like that. That is my goal for this year, to make all my other platforms mirror more the people that I follow on Instagram. I don't want to follow the same people because I like a little bit of diversity and I don't like seeing the cross posts every single time. Now, what did I learn from this experiment? I learned that most of my wants are due to aesthetics and urgency. If it's pretty, I want it. If it's only on sale for 24 hours, I want it. But resisting became easier when I realized that I was being influenced. Also, when I take that moment and add it to my spreadsheet, taking that action gave me satisfaction. Almost the same as when you hit the add to cart button, but this way I was saving more money. My biggest takeaway from this week is that I couldn't even remember the products. By the end of the week, I had forgotten about most of them, and my life had carried on just fine. I obviously didn't need any of these products. By taking time to track my scrolling, it makes me more aware of when I'm impulse buying versus when I truly need an essential. So let's crack down the numbers. Without social media, I was influenced to spend $122.54. That was through restocks and friends. Now with social media, I was influenced to spend $1,251.64. Combined for 7 days, it was $1,374.18. That is a lot of money. If I were to do this again, I would track the screen time for each app just to see how that's a factor. This week, my daily average was 3 hours and 44 minutes, so that gives you an idea of how often I'm scrolling throughout the day. Now, I don't think social media is evil. However, I do think it may have trained us to confuse inspiration with obligation. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. My name's Chantal. I try and post videos once a week. They're normally either a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of book content, honestly, whatever's on my mind that week. But if you want to leave a comment down below, enter what would shock you the most if you were to do this experiment. Also, you can like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.